In Matthew chapter 7, we read the conclusion of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. In the first half of this chapter, Jesus covers several different topics. Some of Jesus' most quoted phrases are from this chapter. On the topic of judging others, Jesus points out that we tend to see flaws in others that we ourselves tend to have, but overlook. On the topic of prayer, Jesus likens our prayers to a child's request of their father. That's an awesome illustration of prayer. In this chapter, we find what has become known as the Golden Rule, doing to others as we would have them do to us. The second half of this chapter has some passages that may not be as familiar. However, they are very important. For example, Jesus describes the path to life as a narrow road with a narrow gate. In the 21st verse of this chapter, Jesus talks about who will or will not be allowed into the kingdom of heaven. He very clearly states that the entrance criteria is to do the will of the Father. Jesus describes those who are not allowed to enter the kingdom of heaven as those whom he never knew, and he calls them evildoers. Interestingly, many of these evildoers were religious people. It's not that they didn't do good things, but they did not know Christ. This corresponds with what Christ told his disciples in John chapter 6 when they wanted to know what works God required. The work God requires, quite simply, is to believe in the one whom he has sent. When Jesus concluded his sermon, the crowd was amazed because they were not just hearing someone teaching the Word of God, they were actually hearing God speaking to them directly.